Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to play Section B from Fur Elise. In fact, actually the first half of Section B. We're going to do the second half in another video. There's a lot going on in this section and it's usually the most difficult one to learn. So I'm going to try to split this up to be as easy as possible and also put time markers down in the description or in one of the comments so that way you can go specifically to the part that you'd like to work on. This is Beethoven's original score. I have not edited this to be easier. This is how you find it standardly in most sheet music, which you can find online very easily. So if you don't yet have a copy of Fur Elise for yourself, please look one up. I'm sure there's one available for you. So I'm going to start off by playing Section B, so you know which part we're going to be learning. And of the part that I'm going to play, we're going to learn the first half of this today, and in a future video, we're going to tackle the second half of it. So this is Section B of the piece, but the first part of it. I'll play the whole part. So let's start by learning how to play the right hand through the whole section just before we get to the part that does this. That's where we're going to start the second half. So for this one, start with your thumb on the E just above middle C, and your fifth finger is going to have C. So for E and C together. And for the next one, move your thumb up one so you have F and C. And then move your thumb back out to E, so you have E and C, but this time add a G in there as well. So you have E, C, F, C, E, G, and C. Now in the next measure, really C is the only note that's here. There's a couple, there's a double grace note before this, which is F, A, and C. Grace notes and double grace notes are just notes that you're going to hit very quickly. They're not considered to get any value at all, so they don't have any timing value. They're just meant to be a decoration on the note. So in this case, rather than just playing the letter C, we're going to go F, A, C and land on the C, like this. What I'm doing is actually sort of rocking my hand side to side very quickly. So I kind of start by just even placing my fingers right on all three keys at once and just rolling my hand or my wrist to the right over to the C. And as I'm playing this C, as I'm holding it down, whatever finger you end up with, you may end up with your pinky, or if you're playing it like this, you may end up with your fourth finger, whichever finger it is, change it to your thumb without letting go of the note. That way, your fourth finger lands nicely over F, because that's our next note. It's going to go F, E, E, D. Then you're going to reach up to a high B flat. Any finger would be fine here. I often reach over it with my pinky. You can reach over with any finger. You're going to have an A after that. And then there's going to be an additional A. Make sure you play the second A with your pinky. So even if you reach over with this finger and play 3 and 2, make sure when you hit the second A, you hit it with 5. So I'm going to take it right from that note. You're just going to walk all of your fingers down to your thumb. So it's going to go A, G, F, E, D. Cross over your middle finger to C, like a scale. And then over to B flat. And down to A. So here is everything we've learned so far. E, C, F, C, E, G, C, double grace note to C, exchange it to your thumb, go over to F, jump up to B flat, now we're going to need these two notes in the next part, but it's really going to work out best if you change what fingers you're playing these with. So now just place your middle finger and second finger over the B flat and A, and your thumb's going to have the G, and we're going to have another little grace note. It happens between the B flat and the A, like that. It's kind of almost like playing both notes at once, but letting go of the B flat so you really only hear the A afterwards, like that. So the notes are going to go basically A, G, A, B flat. Cross your thumb under to C. Then you're going to have D, D sharp, E, E, F. Your thumb should be close to A, so get A, C. E, F, A, C. We'll take it back from that grace note again over on the B flat and the A. So A, G, A, B flat, cross under C, D, D sharp, E, E, F, A, C. And first we're going to do the simpler version with the main notes without the turn. We're going to do D, B, C, right where fingers 1, 2, and 3 are. D, B, C. Play through this section a little slower, so as you're trying to play through the section yourself, maybe you can even play along at this speed. Show you an alternate way to play the last couple of notes that I see in many editions of Fur Elise. Rather than having just the D, they kind of put this big decoration on D. So instead of going D, B, C, for the letter D, they'll go D, C, B, C, D. All of those as one unit landing on D, and then B, C. So I'm going to use that this time when I play through from the beginning. Alright, now let's switch over to what the left hand is going to be doing. First I'm going to play through the left hand as it appears in the music with all the notes separated, and then I'll show you some ways you can practice this to help this go a little easier and smoother for you. So here is as it's written. Break it up into ways that would be beneficial to practice this in the beginning. I'm going to skip over the first little part. What that is B flat and C, A and C, G, B flat and C. And what I'm just going to focus on the measures after this and group the notes together as if they are just a chord. So in the measure where it goes F, A, C, A, C, A, I'm just going to imagine all the notes together to form an F chord. And the next chord is going to be a B flat chord. It's going to be F, B flat, and D. And then move your thumb over one so you have F and E. And back to the F chord. Practicing chords like this in your piece, or imagining notes all together at the same time, will help you to also jump to the right hand placements. So that way you're not thinking about individual notes all the time, but how the notes are grouped together in a chord, or how your hand might be over all three notes at the same time. So again, here are the chords. You have F, B flat, which is F, B flat, D. And then just jump over to F, E, and then back to an F chord. The second half also starts with an F chord. And then it goes to an A minor. You can get to A minor easily from here by just changing your F to an E. So you have E, A, C. Then jump over to G, E, kind of like the F, E from the beginning, but your pinky is one higher. And then C, E. So again, it starts with the F chord. It goes to A minor, which is E, A, C. Then over to G, E, and then C, E. You could even practice hands together using these chords. It's actually a great introduction to putting hands together without all the note against note. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to play chords in my left hand, just one chord for every measure. And now let me show you how to play the left hand as written. So now we're going to take those chords that we were learning and we're going to break them up. Generally speaking, the pattern in each measure goes low note, middle, high, middle, high, middle, like this. In the next measure, we see the same exact pattern, we just apply it to the B flat chord. And the measure that we talked about being F and E, we're now going to have this new element to learn in here. You're going to need F, G, and B flat. It may take a little practice to get all three notes playing at the same time. Those are the three that you want. And there is an E also. You kind of play these three as a unit together, and then you go over to E. What I find is really useful in this particular measure is to place all three notes on all three fingers on those notes, and as you go over to E, lift all those fingers up. It's kind of like actually a wrist movement. You're just kind of moving your wrist side to side. So these go down when your wrist is turned to the left, and then you have E when your wrist is turned to the right. So that measure goes F, E, and then two of these, and back to the F chord. The second half starts with the F chord again. Switch to the A minor, which will be E, A, and C, and this is only going to go for 2 out of the 3 beats because there's an octave of D's right here, and then F, G, E, and on the next G, E, because you play this twice, you may want to switch to your finger to play, or fifth finger, to play G, E, and then G, F, C, E. I'll play that last couple of measures again because there are more changes in these measures than the previous measures. So I'm going to start back on the A minor measure where it goes E, A, C, A, octave D's, F, G, E, switch fingers, G, E, G, F, C, E. E, A, C, A, octave D's, F, G, E, G, E, G, F, C, E. Now I could make an entire video on just how to put these two together, But what I think I might do here is just play it through a couple of times very slowly, so you get to hear the rhythms in which notes play against each other. A lot of times both hands are playing 16th notes, so it's nice and easy. They just play at the same time. But sometimes your right hand's playing dotted rhythms, so you might have dotted 16th notes followed by a 32nd note, so they don't always match up together. So I'm going to play this nice and slow so that way you can hear which sounds are together and which ones are not. Now I'm going to play it ever so slightly faster. And now I'm going to play it a last time, a little faster still, a little closer to the actual tempo of the piece. In our next video, we're going to tackle that second half of this part, which leads you right back to the main theme. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I was helpful in showing you how to play part of the second section from Fur Elise. I'll try to link down the very first section of Fur Elise, they recorded over a year ago, but I'd like to kind of put these together as a series to help you out to play the piece in full. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new here, because I definitely want to see you in lessons again.